Do I have enough flowers in my hair? No, that's too much. I don't know. Can you ever have enough flowers? That's the cottagecore motto right there. Can you have enough flowers? The answer is no. Hello, my name is Samantha and welcome back to my channel. I adore vintage and cottagecore, and if you do too, we're gonna have a lot of fun here. Instead of just doing a bunch of little small TikToks there, I thought I'd compile a whole video of cottagecore hairstyles that are also kind of inspired by my own interest in vintage fashion. So I hope you enjoy. Some of these are stuff that I've never posted on any social media. It's just stuff that I made up as I went, and it was a lot of fun. And also a lot of it I wear normally in my TikToks and my Instagram, and will probably wear more in my YouTube videos. So without much further ado, let's get into the video. This first hairstyle is my everyday go-to. It's also how I curl my hair for the rest of these hairstyles. I'm planning on doing a more in-depth tutorial later on, but for right now, this is the general idea. I start out with my wet set of pillow curlers. I curl them all in a downwards direction. Then, after a night of sleeping on them, I take them out. While unraveling the curl, I make sure to turn it so the curl is facing towards my face. So I'm just continuing to take out all of those curlers. Then, after taking out my curlers, except for my bangs, I use the Calvin Rolden's hair pomade and just take a dime-sized amount in my fingertips and warm it up, and then I spread it all throughout the curls. And I just continue to work the pomade through the curls with my fingertips. And of course my hands are sticky afterwards. Then, with my paddle brush, I just go in and start brushing all the curls out. After I've done an initial brush, I then just keep using the paddle brush to smooth out the curls and make sure the bottom is tucked under. Now for the bangs. First, I take the remaining curlers out, and then I section off my hair and start to tease. I make sure to leave the teasing really fluffy so it's able to be sculpted easier. And in the process look like a troll doll. Then I grab some more pomade and begin sculpting the curl. It takes a little bit of messing with, but eventually I get it and I pin it in place. A little hairspray to finish it off and we're done. The next style is really easy and just another way to spruce up a vintage brush out that you've already done. First, I take two sections on each side of my head and I just brush them back, make sure they're all smooth. And I just pin them both in place. Then I just take a little ribbon and add it on. And there's your style. I like leaving the curls a little more fluffy for this one. How could I possibly do a cottagecore hairstyle without including this one? It's iconic. Here, I just grabbed a solid color bandana and placed it on the top of my head and tie it underneath like so. Then after a little adjusting, you've got your easy go-to cottagecore hairstyle. Time to go look for some frogs. Another easy way to accessorize your natural hair or vintage curls is with adding a cute little headband or ribbon like I'm doing here. I just take this extra long ribbon and tie it on the top of my head. Then take the two extra pieces and tie it in the back of my head. And there we've got our ribbon headband. This next one is one of my favorites. You're going to grab a small section of hair and you're going to start twisting it back, but not all the way to the back of your head. And then you pin it. Then you do the exact same thing on the other side of your head. Make sure not to connect the two pieces in the back. And now we're going to add our two little ribbons on each side. It's a super cute faux pigtail look. Again, I like to leave my curls a little fluffier for this one. First, we're going to start with a small section in the front of your head and just teasing it a little bit, just to give it some volume. And now we're going to start twisting it back. Keep grabbing sections of hair and twisting it in with the other section. And we're going to pin that to the back of the head. Next, on the other side of your head, tease a little bit and start twisting again. Now connect that same section to the other side. Add extra pins if necessary. And now we're going to start pulling sections of the hair to make it loose and flowy and fluffy like you've just been running through a field. Just keep pulling at sections of hair however you see fit. Now I like to pull two pieces of hair to frame my face. Now let's add some flowers. I'm using faux baby's breath here, but you can add whatever flowers you'd like. I just like baby's breath because they're delicate and wispy and make me feel like a fairy. And that's it. Add a little hairspray for good measure, and you're done. Next up, we've got the Gibson tuck. This is one of my go-to vintage hairstyles, but with a couple little accessories, it can totally be cottagecore. First, we're just gonna brush out our hair. This hairstyle is usually best for a second or a third day of curls when you don't want to reset your hair and you need an updo. And now, like so many of the other hairstyles, we're gonna twist a piece back and pin it to the back of our head. Now you're gonna do the same on the other side. Now grab all of your hair in the back and start brushing it and smoothing it out. What we're gonna do now is fold it into itself. And you're gonna roll it up into the Gibson tuck. Keep smoothing it and rolling it and smoothing it and rolling it until it makes a nice little roll. Now we're gonna add as many pins as needed. And you're just gonna keep fiddling with it and smoothing and pinning and smoothing and pinning until you get a result you like. Now you can stop here, or you can add some flowers like I'm doing now. I'm adding these huge sunflowers because I think they're so summery and fun. Next, we've got some braided loops. They always remind me of Kirsten, the American Girl doll. Before we start braiding, we're gonna brush out the hair. Next, I take a section from the top of my head towards the front, and I'm gonna start a Dutch braid. We're just gonna keep braiding all the way down. And we're actually not going to tie this off with a hair elastic. I like to grab my ribbon after I'm done braiding and tie it off with that. But we're not going to tie it into a bow. What we're going to do after we tie it is flip it up like I'm doing here, then tie it once more once it's in a loop, and then we're going to tie it into a bow. What I love about this is it works on all different types of hair lengths. Of course, your hair needs to be long enough to put in a braid, but you could do it with long hair, shorter hair like I have. Any length works. And now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm just Dutch braiding my hair again and tying it off with the ribbon. Now we're gonna flip it up and tie it off. And that's it. Now, I call this the reverse milkmaid because it's a milkmaid braid, but on the back of your head, because I don't have long enough hair for milkmaid braids on the top of my head. We start out with the same Dutch braids. I'm just taking it out of the ribbons here. And we're just gonna place them in the back of our head like this. First, you place one, and you can pin that in. Next, we're gonna take the next braid, and we're just gonna intertwine it like so. And then you're gonna start pinning. And that's it. It's super easy. You can also add a little flower if you want. Next up, we've got a super easy braided bun for those of us who can't twist our hair into a bun once it's braided. Here, I'm just smoothing out my hair and then starting to make an easy braid. Not Dutch braided or French braided, just a normal, easy braid. And here we're just gonna roll it up just like we did with the Gibson tuck and pin it in. Super easy. Then I just take some hairs to frame my face and add a flower, and we're done. This is just an easy way to style a hat. I've got my very loose curled hair. Now we're just going to take a section and twist it back and pin it. Now I'll do the same with the other side. Fluff up your hair and add a wide-brimmed hat. Perfect for summer and keeping the sunlight out of your face. Last, we have an easy braided updo. I'm just starting out with brushing my hair once more. And we're just going to take a section towards the front and start braiding it. No fancy things here, no Dutch, no French braid, just a normal braid. It's really similar to how we did the reverse milkmaid hairstyle. And we're just going to pin it in the back with the other side braided as well. We're going to intertwine them and pin them as we see fit. Next, I like to pull the pieces and strands of the braid to give it a little bit of a looser, more organic look. And then I'm just adding a little bow to top it all off. And that completes the look.
I really hope you enjoyed all of the hairstyles. My style kind of goes from cottagecore to vintage and cottagecore to vintage and like switches off. So this is kind of like a weird mishmash of the two. I really hope you enjoyed them nonetheless. I think they're really fun and cute. I'd love to see all of these hairstyles on all of you, so make sure to tag me if you post it on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, wherever. I don't have a Twitter, so I won't see it there. But if you want to tag me anywhere else, I'd love to see all of these hairstyles and all of you beautiful, beautiful people. If you like this, make sure to subscribe. I love vintage and cottagecore, and there's going to be a lot more of these videos on this channel that I'm really, really looking forward to. And make sure to hit that notification bell. I'm trying to upload every Saturday, but we'll see how it goes. If you want to follow me on any other social media, my handle is right here and all of the links are down below. You probably came from TikTok, but on the off chance you didn't, here it is. I also have a Patreon if you are interested in that. All of my videos get released early on my Patreon, so you get 24 hours exclusive access if you're a patron. There's also lots of other really cool exclusive benefits. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It would mean the world to me. I'm really excited to be trying out this whole YouTube thing. And I'm sorry if there are any weird editing things going on. I'm still working out the kinks. I'm trying my best on a platform that I don't know anything about. So I really hope that you forgive me for any loud musical things that are happening. I'm trying my best. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye. All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely?
I built my hopes on mountains high. There was no ceiling to my sky, but I never dreamt you'd fall in love with me.